for joining me for Daily Spark TV. I am so excited that you are here with me today. You know what I like to do on my show? I want to enlighten you. I want to inspire you. I want to empower you to become your best self. Well, I am really excited today to have my guest S. Jones Marshall, and we are talking about the book Strengthen the Mind. So you know what I'm going to tell you to do. Get comfy, get cozy, because we are about to get started. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me today. S, how are you?
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Now, I have had the privilege of talking with you before on Daily Spark with Dr. Angela radio program, and I'm really excited for you to be sharing your book with our TV audience today. Now, before we get started, can you introduce yourself to perhaps those few people out there that may be unfamiliar with you or with your work?
I am a 38-year survivor of a traumatic brain injury. I started writing poetry as a school assignment, but it has led me into many interesting places.
I can imagine. I love having authors on because you guys have such an amazing story to share. Now, let me ask you about the title of your book. How did you come about such a title?
The material is about strengthening the mind.
Now, being an author, is that something that you have always wanted to do? Perhaps in the back of your mind, you've always wanted to do it? Or did you find that this was just another way for you to share your story with a larger audience?
Well, actually, before my accident, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. So this just kind of stepped into my path.
I can understand that it is quite interesting how sometimes we know exactly what's going to happen, and sometimes we are given an off ramp and we have to detour just a little bit. But I love how you take it all in stride. Now, one of the things that I know that we talked about before is that you have experienced a traumatic brain injury. Some people know TBI, others do not. Can you tell us a little bit about what does it mean to have a traumatic brain injury?
Well, actually, I've never allowed my TBI to stand in the way of doing anything I wanted to do. I mean, I've been to Washington, D.C., I've met with the Australian Embassy in D.C. So, I mean, I do get around.
I love that. I love that you have not allowed this to get you out of sorts, so to speak, to slow your life down in any way. And I love it. I know so many handy able people that are in the kind of have the same take on life that you do. I may have something that slows me, but it doesn't slow me. Like it doesn't keep me from moving and doing exactly what you have been called to do. And I love that. I love that. Now, as far as writing was concerned, how did you determine what style of writing you would do? For example, poetry versus writing it like an essay or a traditional novel. How did you determine your style?
Well, actually, that was one of the parts of the English assignment that I learned about writing poetry is was my creative self. So I wrote a couple poems, and here we are.
I love it. You never know how life is going to affect you later down the road. I have a friend who travels the world as a part of a quite famous band because he learned how to play the bass in middle school because he got stuck in orchestra and he thought he got stuck in orchestra, and now because he knows how to play the bass, he is traveling the world and living his dreams. So you never know how one little thing in your life can make a huge difference later on. I love it. I love it. Now, when it came time to publishing your book, so many times we have to decide, are we going to self-publish or are we going to use a publishing company? Some people want full control, so they choose to self-publish. Other folks might say, I don't want to be involved. I'm going to hire the professionals. How do you make the determination of how you would publish your book?
I mean, I've so far self published 8 books of poetry. So, I mean, having control over everything is something that I want to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I find that many of my guests who especially have written poetry or even children's books, they really want to have that control because they don't want anything to be changed. They want the pictures the way, the illustrations the way that they want it. And with poetry, that's kind of a piece of you guys. It's a look into who you are, and it's so intimate and personal. We feel that you really get to know who someone is through poetry. So I can understand, I can definitely understand that. Now, sir, when you were writing, did you find that you needed to have a certain atmosphere or certain environment? Did you need it to be quiet, early mornings, late night, anything like that?
Nope, nope. My poetry is from the way I look at things. So
Absolutely. I love that. And you have such a positive outlook on life.
now it's like I've not let anything stop me from getting where I am right now. I mean, I totally expect to be able to do anything I want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that you are inspiring other folks out there that are dealing with their TBI as well. Speaking of that, what is one takeaway that for anyone who picks up a copy of the book, what do you want them to make sure they understand having purchased a copy of your book?
That living with a TBI is not a death sentence. It just means that you've got to feel your way around until you're able to discover your way on the road of life.
I love it. And that's good advice for some of the rest of us as well. So many times we do discover ourselves along the way. We think that we're on one road trip and we find that detour was a very beautiful detour after all. I love it. I love it.
I wear a mask.
I wear a mask.
I wear a mask. I wear a mask because
I wear a mask because it's a tiny sacrifice to protect your freedoms.
I wear a mask because I can help stop the spread of COVID-19 in my community.
I wear a mask because I care about you, even if I don't know you.
I want to keep doctors, nurses, and other essential workers safe.
I wear a mask because I can, but my baby can't.
I wear a mask because I want to feel safe sending my kids back to school. My kids wear masks to keep their friends safe.
I wear a mask because I want you to stay healthy.
I wear a mask because I really want to get a haircut soon.
I wear a mask because I care about the health and well-being of those around me.
I wear a mask because I might not know that I'm sick.
Yo uso una máscara para mi familia y la comunidad.
I wear a mask because I want to keep others safe.
I wear a mask because I want to protect everybody.
I wear a mask because too many people who look like me are getting sick and dying from COVID-19.
I've grown fond of seeing people smile with their eyes. It's a beautiful experience in these times.
Do it for their futures.
Even if you don't have to, I hope you choose to.
A natural disaster may force you to evacuate, and the coronavirus could impact your emergency plans. So take steps now to help your family and community prepare. Keep a supply kit stocked with cloth face coverings, disinfecting supplies, and hand sanitizers. Check with local officials about what shelter spaces will be open during quarantine efforts. And remember to review the CDC's guidelines with the whole family. Disasters won't wait. Neither should you. Visit ready.gov/plan to make a plan today.
Hi, do you have something to share? Be a guest. Want to sponsor an episode? Visit drangela.chester.com. Thanks again for watching Daily Spark TV.
Now, as far as your being an author, you mentioned that you have written other books. I guess I should say then you've been bitten by the author's bug. Is that true?
I guess if there is an author bug, for me, writing poetry is my way of keeping from having to see a shrink.
I can understand. And it's so funny that you say that because I tell my clients to journal. It is one of the ways that you are able to get your thoughts out of your head, get them down on paper. Don't edit yourself, but just get those thoughts out. And it does help you with whatever is going on in your world. So I can definitely understand. That is a great, a great idea, Stewart. I love it. I love it. Now, as far as reading your book is concerned, how do you suggest that people read? Should they read it cover to cover? Should they read it more like a devotional where perhaps every day there's a new bit of poetry they could read?
A devotional. I've got one friend at church that bought my last book, and she's using it as a devotional.
Absolutely. And I love that idea. it kind of slows us down. I think in today's society, we're so used to everything being so quick, so fast, everything in a microwave moment. But when we read something as a devotional, it allows us to spend time with that work, with that reading, and then think about it throughout the day, roll it around in our heads a little bit, and really gather all that we can out of it. So I have to agree with you there. That is a great way to really take that in. Now, as far as the ideal reader is concerned, would you say that it's perfect for someone of any age, or did you have an age range in mind?
Anyone and everyone.
I like that. So it doesn't matter what age you are, if you are dealing with a TBI, if you love someone with a TBI, or you just want a book of inspiration, then this book is for you. I love it.
Yes.
Quite mindful of you. I love it. I love it. Make it available for everyone. Now, I have to ask, as far as your faith is concerned, not if you go to church every day or what denomination you are, but do you think that your faith has played a part in your positive outlook in helping to keep you moving forward?
Of course, I wouldn't be where I am without my faith.
I know that for so many people, when they're going through a really tough time, and especially when it comes to medical issues, unfortunately, sometimes they do lose their faith to a certain beat, or they kind of turn from God for a moment while they're going through and really coping with everything that is going on. Um, in that, you learn how you can turn right back to God when things are better in your life, or when you realize that turning away does not help you, but instead turning to God is what you need to do. So I'm so glad that you did not lose your faith in this moment, in this trying time of your life.
Actually, I found my faith because before the accident, I didn't go to church. Since the accident, I've been a regular church goer.
I love that. What an inspiration for someone else, just realizing that every day is a gift. Stuart, that reminds me of, and I share from time to time, I'm a breast cancer survivor. I think everyone knows that, but how I changed my perspective after having gone through surgery, that every day now before my feet hit the ground, I say, "Good morning, God." And you kind of have a happier disposition because it's, I made the wake up list. So I definitely understand the shift in your understanding.
I mean, like I said, I do not let anything stand in my way. I mean, God has opened so many doors for me. That isn't funny because I just established my nonprofit. So, I mean, I'm working on that. Everything.
Congratulations. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. Now, I hate to put you on the spot, but tell us a little bit more about your nonprofit.
Dream Building 82 Inc.org. I mean, I've done training in the 30 human rights under the Declaration of Human Rights under the United Nations. I mean, and I'm going to talk about the Disability Bill of Rights which fall under the human rights. So, I've just got a lot going on.
Yes, you do. And I love it. So many times people, they talk about a good game, but they don't actually do what they say that they're out to do. You, on the other hand, are out there making a difference. You are being the difference for those who need that advocate out there. And I love it. I love it. I think everyone should have a cause. Everyone should have a purpose, something that they want to speak up for. And it sounds like you are doing exactly that. And I love it. I love it. Now, for someone who is an aspiring author, Stewart, I want to ask you for a bit of wisdom or encouragement for that person who is looking for the sign, right? To go on and step out and become an author. Do you have any words of encouragement for them or any tips for them?
I don't necessarily know if it can be. I've found that writing comes from within. If you have something to say, write it down so that others can learn from it.
I love it. If you have something to say, write it down so others can learn from it. Amazing. That is definitely a nugget. What a beautiful way to end my time with you today. Stewart, thank you so much for being an inspiration to everyone and for sharing your story. Now, before I let you go, though, can you please remind everyone of the title of your book? Where can we get a copy? And of course, how do we stay in contact with you?
Strengthen the Mind. You can get it on Amazon under S. Jones Marshall. And to keep in touch, you can reach out to me on the nonprofit website, dreambuilding82.org, and you can leave me a message and I'll try to get in touch with you.
I love it. Thank you again, Stewart, for visiting me here on Daily Spark TV.
You're more than welcome.
And viewers, thank you for spending time with me here as well. We hope that we have enlightened, inspired, and empowered you today. As always, may the Lord continue to shine his face upon you. May you receive his grace and his mercy in all that you do. Until next time, everyone, remember that you are blessed in the Lord. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have the past few weeks or months been challenging? Yes, for all of us. We've been thrown into circumstances which we could never have imagined. Loss of jobs, working from home, general uncertainty, all while dealing with COVID. It's causing us to be a little on edge. If you need someone to talk to, Dr. Angela Chester can help. Visit newlifepastoralcounseling.com to get started. We're in this together.
Welcome to Daily Spark TV. Are you an author with a faith-based book? Be a guest. Serious about your product or service and want to try something new? Sponsor an episode. I see you're ready to get started. So visit drangela.chester.com. Thanks again for watching Daily Spark TV.